KeYona TV, the one, the only.
Welcome back to KeYona TV, the one, the only. We are broadcasting live from Bulawayo, and as I earlier alluded that after the break I will be joined in the studio by Sindiso Mazibisa, who is the mover-in-chief of One Bulawayo movement. I hope I got that right. If I got it wrong, he is going to correct me. We are here to discuss a lot of issues that transpired throughout the week. Firstly, we saw the election of the new mayor of Bulawayo, and we did see Senator David Coulthard, His Worship, the mayor of Bulawayo, being elected as the mayor unopposed and deputized by Donaldson Mabuto. And thereafter, we are going to discuss the election of a committee chairperson that transpired yesterday, and then we'll sum it up with a look at how the new cabinet was announced, looking at the new ministries and the ministers that have been given different portfolios by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Good morning, Sindiso Mazibisa, and welcome to KeYona TV.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Phiri.
All right, let's get into it.
In fact, you got it right.
I got it right.
I'm the MIC,
okay,
the mover in charge of One Bulawayo movement.
One Bulawayo movement.
Right, yes.
All right, let's start in Bulawayo. Monday, we saw the election of Senator David Coulthard as the new mayor of Bulawayo, unopposed, as well as the election of his deputy, Donaldson Mabuto, also unopposed. What is your reaction as One Bulawayo movement?
Oh, okay. Our thinking as One Bulawayo movement is that, well, it was not an election, because he got in there unopposed. Politically, it's understandable, because we know that CCC had to get people coming to Bulawayo to tell people that there should be an election. So it was more of a selectorate that chose David Coulthard. But if that is what CCC wanted to do, it's okay. It's a fait accompli. He's the mayor of Bulawayo. The popular sentiment, in my view, was that David Coulthard should be the mayor of Bulawayo. How it was done is something else.
Okay, all right, okay. No, that is all right. We're just going to go for a short break. When we come back, we will continue with this discussion.
Indulge yourself in tantalizing and tasty delights at Barcelos with friends and loved ones. Visit us at number 81 Jason Moy Street between 8th Avenue and Leopold Takawira Street in Bulawayo. Barcelos, flame grilled chicken to perfection.
Welcome back to KeYona TV. I am still with the mover in charge of One Bulawayo movement, Mr. Sindiso Mazibisa, discussing what has been transpiring in Bulawayo. And before we went for that short break, he said that it was not an election, it was a selectorate.
That's correct.
Can you kindly clarify that? Because you have a city that overwhelmingly voted for that party.
True.
And the party has issued a directive, and they have said this is what we want. How then does it become a selectorate? Because this is a collective party position.
The position is simple. It's an imposition of a mayor. I'm not saying that the election or the selection of David Coulthard is wrong. All I'm saying is that people were railroaded. Some of us, you see, I don't beat around the bush. People were forced to make sure that there is no contention. There was coercion, in fact, to elect and select David Coulthard. That is what other than the bridge. David Coulthard was selected by Harare when they came and told all the councillors, if you select or elect somebody else, you nominate or you are nominated and so on, you're going to be recalled.
All right.
So he's there as the mayor.
But do you have a problem?
But it's important to emphasize that point because he was selected.
Right.
It's important because as we go forward as One Bulawayo movement, we're saying the people must choose their representative. And remember, even the background relating to David Coulthard and other people and so on. But that's beside the point. The issue is that he is the mayor of Bulawayo, but that's what happened. All I'm saying is that I'm disputing that he was elected.
Okay.
The issue that he was selected.
All right.
Yes.
Now let's get into David Coltart's merit as a mayor of Bulawayo, looking at his illustrious career, having been a full cabinet minister, the former minister of education. He has been to parliament, has been to senate. Do you think it was a good selection according to your own words?
Well, on a score of 1 to 10, I would say 7.
Okay.
He has done very well for the people of Matebeland. He was part of the CCJP project. He has represented some of our heroes. He stood with people during Kukuraundi period. He's an illustrious lawyer, notwithstanding all other issues that are being raised around his career and so on. He has done very well. As former Minister of Education, has done very well. As the legislator, has done very well. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, out of the candidates that are there, it's fine. It's a good selection.
All right. Let's get to his deputy, Donaldson Mabuto. We know that before the election transpired, it was said that he was earmarking for the mayoral position, and now he has gotten the deputy mayoral position when other issues that were coming out with that Dumisani Nkomo, former Habakkuk Trust CEO, was earmarked for that position. Do you think Donaldson Mabuto is the best person for that position?
Personally, and institutional, I would not think so. We have had a rational balance that David Coltart, on a scale of 1 to 10, like I've indicated,
Yes.
is very good. But now we are having a very serious regional and tribal balance because of the issues that are being raised against him in terms of how issues should have been handled. I think on the issue of the position of the deputy mayor, a councillor should have been allowed, also not being railroaded to choose a deputy mayor or having a selectorate again, choosing who should be the deputy mayor. So in my view, I think a DM Dumisan was the best person, was the best foot forward. But look, the CCC as the dominant part decided to do what it did, but I don't think that he was there. But he is the city's best foot forward. That's my position.
Okay.
That's my thinking.
That is your thinking and position. All right.
Yep.
Let's move over because of time. Let's move over to the committees and the chairpersons that we selected yesterday, or rather elected. We did see the water committee going to Edwin Ndlovu, with the housing committee said to be chaired by Ntombizodwa Khumalo, deputized by Iskhulekile Moyo. The chair for the towns and lands committee went to Dumisani Neta to be deputized by Mxolisi Mahlangu, and the audit committee is set to be chaired by Alec Ndlovu, who is deputized by Melissa Maveza, and the engineering committee went to Roy Sekete and deputized by Hove. And finally, the finance committee, the key finance committee, went to Mpumelelo Moyo, set to be deputized by Dumi Nkomo. Your overall assessment of the new committee chair?
Edwin is a seasoned academic. He's a business person. I think he's well positioned for that. In terms of water, in terms of Khumalo and Iskhulekile as well. In terms of Khumalo, I think they are well positioned. Dumi, fortunately, I'm happy as well that he was accommodated. Engineer there, Sekete, he actually comes from my ward.
Roy.
He actually comes from my ward. Okay. I think they were well positioned there. Audit, Melissa and Alec Love and so on. But what I would say, that's why I'm doing a cursory comment, is because most of these committees are more administrative. So it's what council administrators are going to be helping them do. So as long as they are in part of those committees and we see how things are being done, it's okay. As long as they listen to what the citizens are saying and so on, I don't have a problem with the committees, how they are structured and so on. But I think in terms of composition, it's not a bad setup.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
Not
What
at
are
all.
the key issues faced with Bulawayo? We did see Senator David Coltart, His Worship the Mayor of Bulawayo, saying that there are quite a number of issues which include the reviewing of contracts that he said in his acceptance speech. He also spoke about the issue of corruption, saying that he's going to set up a toll-free line so that there can be whistleblowing from the citizens of Bulawayo. He also spoke about the water challenges.
Okay.
What are the key issues?
Okay, let me be very poignant because of time issues.
Yes.
Number one, water issue. They need to solve the issue of water. I don't believe that the Zambia's water project is a solution, is the panacea really to the Bulawayo problems relating to water. On that issue, I think there are there's a lot of documentation that has been done, a lot of solutions that have been proposed to council. So if Senator David Coltart, councillor mayor, now is amenable, I think the citizens of Bulawayo are well equipped to deal with that issue. That's number one. Two, keeping the city clean. Bulawayo has been known to be keeping our city clean, and that's not a compromise. There's a lot of nonsense that is going around the country, that are going around the city and even the country. So we need really Senator David Coltart to stamp their foot, and the councillors. I know even if they call citizens, number one, to clean the city, they are going to cooperate. Two, they need to make sure they involve all the state departments to make sure that all people who are operating at undesignated centers and areas, they need to solve the Kotini problem. The issue of the review of contracts, I know is contentious, very, very, very contentious. I know people are raising issues about TTI and so on. But remember, when you are doing issues of review of contracts, it's not only the city of Bulawayo that is involved. You're talking about PRAS, you're talking about Zita, you're talking about the cabinet. Because there is a limit to which any city council can deal with contracts. So some of those contracts they want to review are subject to cabinet decisions, are subject to PRAS, are subject to Zita. So I like the interview. There was an interview online where the town clerk was saying there are things that you can say during election campaign and there are things that you can practically do. So now it's time for reality. So we want to see how is our mayor, Senator David Coltart, who's our mayor, going to deal with that, and how also are the council committees going to deal with that. But I would want to say, as one Bulawayo movement, we are concerned that we want to have a seamless relationship and a congruent relationship, a working relationship between the administration, the city of Bulawayo administration, and the councillors. We want to see a clean Bulawayo, a waterful Bulawayo, and a progressive Bulawayo. There are a lot of things that are relating to stands and infrastructural development. So where are they as citizens of Bulawayo? I think it's a good team. Also, if you look at some of the CVs that some of these councillors have, I think it's a good team. It's a good team. It's a good team. It's a good starting point for the city of Bulawayo.
All right.
We may argue about how they were selected, how whatever happened, but I think it's a good team. They can do something for the city of Bulawayo, and I think the residents are there to support them. But we're going to be sitting on them. We're going to be stocking the coals.
All right, Mr. Mazibisa, let me draw you back. Using powers vested on me, we're just going to extend this interview because we're at a late start to the show. So I want to draw you back to the former council that was led by Mayor Solomon Mukoni. What would you advise this new council to the lessons learned from them, the mistakes that they made? What will be the key issues that you can flag out where you feel that the outgoing council could have erred and that this new council must do better?
Number one, it does not matter whether there's an executive mayor or no executive mayor. I've heard lots of arguments on two issues. Because we don't have an executive mayor, we can't make decisions. That's false.
Okay.
Number two, we have got central government that is interfering with how we operate as council. False. There are a lot of projects I know that have been forwarded to council, where council simply had to make decisions. Then forward to central government, alternative make decisions as council. They didn't want to exercise their powers as councillors. So that kind of nonsense, that's just nonsense. We don't need executive mayors to make decisions. The administration is there, citizens are there, residents are there to make decisions. So let's not be fed political nonsense that councillors can't make decisions. It's false. Let's not be fed information that central government is interfering with how decisions are made. False. There are certain decisions that, yes, go to central government. But most decisions that can make our city better, to clean the city, really, you don't need central government. to partner with investors, to come up with projects for housing and so on. You don't need a lot of interference from central. Central government will not stop people from building new cities and smart cities. That's false. People were focused on self-aggrandizement. What is it that I will get out? It's okay, you're going to get your commercial stand, you're going to get your residential stand. Yes, get that, but make sure that decisions are made. So all I'm saying is that Senator Colton is kind, we don't want corruption. Yes, corruption is a zero. And we know there are people in council now who think now they can change. That's why some of these decisions, review contracts, is also self-centered, because people want to come up with their own people that they want to put into those contracts. That's not going to happen. We're going to stop those things. So no corruption, but councillors must make decisions. Let's not blame central government. Let's make decisions. If there's a problem, let's approach central government. Now there's a provincial council. Let's approach the president, let's approach the minister, and so on, and say, these are the decisions that we have made as a city to clean our cities. Do you think that government is condoning all this lawlessness that is happening? Of course not. Of course not. So do you need a minister now to come and say, clean your city? Do you need a minister to say, stop corruption? No. So all those things that people are blaming in nonsense on central government, that must stop. Councillors must work. If you have decided to be a councillor, decided to be a mayor, live with it. That's it. That's advice that I can give.
I am with Sindiso Mazibisa, who is the mover in charge of One Bulawayo movement, saying that the excuses of saying that central government is interfering with the work of the council is nothing. It's falsehoods, actually, in his own words. He says it is not true, and council must take charge of the operations of Bulawayo. Now, the last question on this new council, Mr. Mazibisa, is on, this is the first time that we have witnessed a quota, women quota coming into the council, and we have also seen the emergence of other factions, so to say, that say that you have been elected, via election, you have come in via the women's quota. What do you think needs to be done in order to draw the council together to harness the power from the women who were elected via the quota system, and your basic appreciation of this new setup that is in council?
I think it's a momentous occasion, not only for the city of Bulawayo, but also for Zimbabwe, to have representatives from the women's quota, the youth quota, proportional representation, and so on, being part of council. I see at least one of the people, I can identify quite a number there. I see even the audit there. There's Melissa.
Melissa who got via quota.
Gotten via quota. I know she has been very passionate about youth issues. So we want to see a lot of work being done. It does not mean if you don't represent a physical ward, exactly, then you can't do representation of the people. For example, we want to see a lot of things. For example, we are talking about the youth centers and so on. I would want to see some of these people who were elected via the various quotas to be making a lot of representation, because they can speak independently. I don't have to come there and say I'm speaking for the people of 29. But I'm saying I'm speaking for the people of Bulawayo. Well, so these are the people as citizens and residents we should be approaching and say, go to council. So when you talk, you are not seen to be partisan, you are not seen to be jaundiced or prejudiced, but you are in a position to say, this is what the people are saying. So let's take advantage as people. There's logic behind the issue of these other representatives who don't represent a certain geographic location in terms of wards. So it's very welcome. It's a very welcome development, and we want to see it eternally. We want to see it going on and going forward. So let's take advantage of some of these representatives, because they represent all of us. All right. We don't locate them and isolate them to a specific ward. So they must work together. Look, it's just puerile thinking to say because I'm coming from a specific physical ward, then it means I've got more representation. There's not. In fact, I must say this. These are councillors who represent people across the political divide now. Whether you are ZANU-PF, or you are ZAPU, you are UFP, you are MRP, these are our mayors, this is our mayor, these are our councillors, these are our representatives. So we must present all our issues and problems to them. They will solve them. That's what I can say. They are our representatives who are stuck with them. until they are recalled, maybe. But as long as they are there, we are stuck with them. They will represent us for the next 5 years.
KeYona TV, the one, the only. We are going to go for a short break. When we come back, we will be discussing the cabinet that was announced by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, this week. We will be looking at the new ministries, we'll be looking at the new ministers and those that have been reassigned. Keep watching KeYona TV, the one, the only.
Indulge yourself in tantalizing and tasty delights at Barcelos with friends and loved ones. Visit us at number 81 Jason Moy Street between 8th Avenue and Leopold Takawira Street in Bulawayo. Barcelos, flame grilled chicken to perfection. Rotary Club Matopo presents The Spelling Bee every Monday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. on KeYona TV.
We have had a very exciting time at the Rotary Club of Matopo's Spelling Bee, which has been done in partnership with a total of 21 sponsors in Bulawayo. The competition was open to 148 schools, all the 148 schools in Bulawayo, including government, private, and all forms of schools. Coming from the corporate world, it's amazing what the number one winner stands to win. Cash prize of 1,500, a bursary of 1,500 as well. I could go on and on. This inaugural event, has had a powerful impact in our community, and we look forward to the finals, but this is the start of many, many competitions to come.
KeYona TV, the one, the only.
Yeah.